today we are going to be looking at one of the most important roles of your marketing, building trust with potential donors. Now here's the crucial thing. People don't give to organizations that they don't trust. Whether it's a first-time donor stumbling across your website or a long-term supporter considering a bigger gift. Trust is what turns interest into action. And where does that trust get built? Online. Your website, your social media, your content online is often the first impression that many people have of your nonprofit. So today we are breaking down 5 key strategies to help you build credibility, deepen those relationships, and make potential donors feel confident that giving to your nonprofit is a great decision. Now, maybe this is you. You're running an amazing nonprofit doing incredible work. Your impact is real. You're creating a difference. You're making a tangible change. But when it comes to turning online supporters into actual donors, something just isn't clicking. You get likes, comments, even emails of interest, but few donations. Or maybe you've had a donor give once, but then they just disappear. Now here's the hard truth. People don't just give because they see your content. They give because they know that their money is going to make a tangible difference. They trust that you are going to use their money wisely. Now that trust isn't built overnight. It's built through connection, transparency, and consistency. Now that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. How to use your digital presence to build trust, establish your credibility, and gain that donor confidence. Let's get into it. Now, before we dive into those 5 key strategies, let's talk about the most iconic fundraising campaign, the Ice Bucket Challenge. I don't know about you, but I remember when my feed was filled with people getting dumped with ice water. That was in 2014, and the ALS Association pulled off one of the most viral campaigns ever. $220 million were raised. They gained massive global awareness, not only for their association, but also for ALS. And they engaged millions of new supporters. But why did it work so well? I think one of the main reasons was that it was really fun. It was super engaging. It was authentic. People were participating in it. They weren't just bystanders or watching it from the sides. They were actually getting involved. It was also transparent. The ALS Association was transparent about how they were going to be using those funds. They consistently showed where the money was going and how it was going to be used to fund ALS research in the future. And they created a movement. It wasn't just about the fundraising, it was about being a part of something so much bigger. And that's what trust does. It turns casual supporters into committed donors. So how can you build that same level of trust using your nonprofit's online digital presence? Let's get into those 5 key strategies. The first strategy is being transparent and authentic. Nonprofits that are open and honest build trust faster, period. Potential donors want to know exactly where their money is going, so why not show them? Here are a few ways that you can do that. The first way is to break down your finances in an easy, digestible way on your website. Give people access to your annual reports as well as your financial statements. This tells people you have absolutely nothing to hide. You're an open book and they can see exactly how your nonprofit spends money. Another one of my favorite examples is from Charity Water. If you visit their website, you'll see a statement that is used all over their website that says 100% of your donation goes to fund water projects. Now, this is connected to an operation model, a funding model, where they've had 100% of their operation costs funded privately so that they can boldly claim that 100% of your donation is going to go directly to making an impact. And that is a really strong statement. As a donor, I know exactly where my money is going to go, and that's to creating a direct impact for a community, a town or city in need. The second way you can be transparent about your funding or how you spend your money is by being clear about how much it costs to actually make an impact and incorporating that into your core messaging. So what does it look like to actually cover a child's full education? or to cover the training that you provide a young person. Or perhaps, what is the cost of that life-changing program for expectant mothers? Help people to understand exactly what it costs to make an impact, to make a difference. Another way is to share behind-the-scenes content of your organization in action. Help people to see exactly what it looks like on the ground, what it looks like to see their money making a difference. That could be through stories, photos, videos. There's so many different ways to take your community and your supporters behind the scenes of your organization. And then talk about wins, but also talk about the challenges. That honesty equals credibility. People want to know what is happening on the ground. What challenges are you facing? And often you'll find your supporters will pull rank and really come together to see you through a troubling time. So don't be afraid to pull back the curtain and let your supporters, your donors, your community see what it looks like behind the scenes, how you use their money and how you're using their money to make a difference. The second way you can build trust using your online presence is by telling compelling stories. People don't just connect with numbers, they want to hear the stories behind the numbers. And if you want to build trust, you need to make your cause more human. Sharing stories, storytelling is a great way to do that. So instead of just posting stats, share real stories of human lives that you are changing. Instead of just saying, we provide meals to families, tell the story of a family that you are helping directly. Instead of focusing just on what you do, focus on why it matters, how it's making a tangible difference. Your donors aren't just funding a project, they're changing a life, so show them how. The third way is by showing impact and accountability. Donors want to know that their money is being used wisely. Now, showing impact isn't just about sharing what you've achieved, but it's also about taking accountability for future goals. A way you can do that is by keeping your supporters up to date on your progress. Celebrate those small wins and let them know about any setbacks. Use your content online to show your work in action and the progress that you're making, whether through photos, videos, blog updates, newsletters. That accountability is going to build trust, and trust is the foundation of strong donor relationships. Now, what I see so many nonprofits do is that they'll run a big campaign for a specific project. Perhaps it's a big building project that they'd love to take on. They raise all this money and then they go absolutely quiet. They don't share any further updates about that specific project that they were fundraising for. Or worse, they'll share an update maybe 6 months later, long after they ran that specific campaign. I really want to encourage you to ensure that you've got consistent communication planned after a campaign to keep your donors informed and connected to the progress of your project. This tells them you can be trusted with their money. You're not just going to raise a bunch and then go completely quiet on them. Donors want to feel that their money is actually making a difference, so give them that. The fourth way that you can build trust through your digital presence is by staying consistent. Now, I know here you will hear me say that so many times. Consistency is so important, but it really is. It builds trust over time. If you're only showing up sporadically, maybe posting once a month on social media or sending out a newsletter, perhaps quarterly or twice a year, people are going to forget about you, but you're also not establishing yourself as a credible organization that can be trusted with consistent effort. Some of the most trusted brands and nonprofits all show up consistently. That means regular social media posts, thoughtful email updates, a website that is actually updated. Your message should be clear and strong and present across every touch point. The more familiar people are with your organization, the more they will trust you. The fifth and final way that you can build trust using your online presence is by engaging and building relationships. Now, trust isn't a one-way street. You don't just want to talk to your audience, you want to talk with them. So I encourage you, engage on social media, respond to DMs, respond to comments, acknowledge and celebrate your supporters and your donors. When people feel seen and heard, they trust you more. And when they trust you more, they give. They want to support your cause. All right, so what are some of the key takeaways for you? Trust isn't built overnight. Your digital presence is a powerful tool that can create that trust. Focus on transparency, storytelling, connection, and consistency. Now tell me, I'd love to hear which of these 5 strategies are you going to focus on first. You can let me know in the comments or send me a DM or comment on Instagram. I would love to hear your thoughts. And hey, if this episode has been helpful, I'd love for you to subscribe, leave us a comment, review the podcast. It'll help this podcast get out to more people, more nonprofits, and help them build trust with their donors. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, keep doing the most amazing work, and I'll see you soon.